Also, I got to tell y'all something. So, it has been brought to my attention that allegedly, according to a certain someone that we're not going to name, claims that I was in Nick the Hat's live stream yesterday trying to, I don't know what I think they're trying to say that I was in Nick the Hat's live stream yesterday trying to get Nick to bring me on board. Negative. I was not in Nick the Hat's live stream. I didn't even know about Nick the Hat's live until after. But I guess my mod Megan was. She went over and commented in Nick's chat. And I say all that to tell you guys that was not me. So we have a clone. Which I know I've known about having a clone for a while, but I haven't seen it around. But I guess there's a clone of me that was in Nick the Hat's chat the other day. Okay. Well, we can officially say that I am cloned. Or is that you, Neil? Get out of my account, Neil. Stop that. That's my son. Y'all don't block that account. That's my account. My son is trolling me. So first, I want to say, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to say this, but you know what? I'm just going to come out and say it. Okay. So a lot of people are 100% outraged with the demeanor and attitude of Nick the Hat, right? Come on, absolutely, he's condescending as all get out. I don't know how anybody could say otherwise. And then the words that come to my mind about the way that some people in this community are freaking out about Nick the Hat is deliciously. It makes me feel validated. I'm just gonna be petty for a minute, okay? It's so the irony. Oh my God, the irony. It just goes to show you that there are absolute laws of the universe and things do come back full circle, okay?
Scared to call the cops because they think they're going to go to prison. No, it's not too late, but it will be too late very soon because this case is about to start costing a lot of money. This is where I guess another interesting factor comes in. When you have a private contractor that employs everybody from former AGs to former feds to experts, to body language experts that testified at trials like the JFK, literally, there is somebody that is still at the firm, it's an immediate relative of the body language expert from JFK's trial. Like, you guys hire those people, and that's why they're clientele.
Did you just, how can, there's a couple of things that I've got a problem with here, okay? And it doesn't mean that I don't stand, with them trying to find answers, okay? I'm open, so I'm not being a hater of Nick the Hat. I'm not being a hater of Dog. But isn't it dangerous to sit here? He's pleading with a person to bring Sebastian back as if it is known 100% fact. You know what I mean? Like, no, I really don't like this narrative. I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's what tells me they know. I think it's a bluff, but I do think that he's part of. I don't want to say too much, but I think that he's. I used to know a lot of people like him that were interconnected in certain ways, and they might have access to things. I'm not talking about his background. I'm saying like his connections.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like I don't like digitally, like digitally computer online.
Well, to piggyback off what you said, felons are really smart.
Yes,
they're very very smart.
Mm-hmm. Some, a lot of the time, some of them, not all, but yeah. Someone reached out to me, and I'm not going to go into detail. That's not important of who it is. But the person had said something to me that really stuck out to me today. And she said, protect your subscribers, be careful. Don't let your subscribers, don't lead them, basically astray. Don't, you know what I mean? This person is there's no doubt that he's got an agenda, right? So for me and where I stand, I'm not going to be getting behind Nick. I do feel like we have been here almost 7 months. And do we really need somebody to tell us how to bring awareness for Sebastian? I don't think so. Absolutely don't think so. I think we will do just fine on our own, like we have been. I do have creators reaching out to me, telling me to be careful, that this person's not a good person. So I'd already had that like lingering in my mind, right, about Nick the Hat, thinking about, these people that have reached out to me privately to warn me. That was already in the back of my mind. And then I see this. And, guys, we love Josh, right? Josh is the bee's knees. I think Josh is a stand-up guy. I think that he is a wonderful creator. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Josh. So when I saw this, I'm going to be honest with you, I take this as my full confirmation.
That's credible. Gets sent to the relevant authorities.
Okay.
Follow it up on
that doesn't make me comfortable whatsoever, Nick. Every lead that comes in that's credible, who deems it credible or not? Every lead that comes in that's deemed credible is sent to the TBI. No, but you guys shouldn't be the ones that are determining what is and what isn't credible. Dwayne Dog Chapman, and you see there's the check mark. All you trolls and bullies, my word for you is skunks, because you stink to high heaven. What? The only reason you skunks would be doing this to a poor little boy who's missing is that you must have a head skunk pushing you. We know who you are, head skunky. So keep on pushing, skunk mouth. Keep on spraying your little skunks with your rotten skunk smell. We hear you, we see you, we smell you, and we will hunt you. Love, Dog the Bounty Hunter, aka the Skunk Hunter.
It's like that in that movie, The Never Ending Story. He keeps trying to close the book, and like he can't. Like he has to open it back up, because I feel like right now there's not that many people advocating for Seth and Sebastian. I mean, there's Betty and that whole team, but they've already been labeled as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and nobody takes them seriously. So, not saying that they are, but I'm just saying they've already, in their own way, become sort of a clown show. And there's only a few channels now that are standing strong.
There's gonna be a couple things that I got to say tonight that may not sit well with some of you, but if I don't say them, then I'm not a true friend because I'm not being honest with you guys. So I have some things to say, but it's going to be after we go through this interview. I'm just noticing, are you guys noticing around the community that people are changing up? People are starting to change their tune a bit. I think some people are getting worried about this this C&D, like they're, while they're on Queen's panel, they're all, froggy and feel gung-ho, but when they really actually think about it, they're nervous about it. And these cease and desist, once again, Franny, are not in any way preventing you or anyone else from talking about Sebastian and the case. The only thing that these cease and desist are for are to eliminate the false allegations that are being levied at Seth Rogers and his team. That's it. You can talk about Sebastian all day long.
And
listen, we all pretty much know. We all pretty much know who they are because we have been on the receiving end of those insiders the entire time.
Yeah, we have.
So ask yourself who's the ones that have been attacking us, and there's your answer. From my understanding, there's a short list, and it's the people that are the loudest that we all know.
The pendulum swinging. I mean, look at the last couple weeks. We've got the FBI coming out. Those persons, right? Those persons, a $50,000 reward. Jennifer Coffindaffer, saying that, Dog the bounty hunter, Nick the Hat, right? Attorneys, and it seems, in my opinion, that there are people that are fishes out of water. They would rather just admit, or just rather, flop like a fish out of water than actually just saying, you know what, nothing here with Seth. Let's move along and let's find Sebastian.
If you know that they allowed, do you think I'm threatened by you, Nick? I'll see you soon too. You can more than welcome, Nick. Do what you got to do. You think I have any fear of what you're going to do? Just know I'll reach out to every organization the same way you did. Ain't afraid of you. You think you're going to silence me for playing your own buddy's words? Came from his mouth, didn't it? So here's the question. Why didn't he take custody? If they were so absent, as if they're so horrible as parents, why didn't they take custody? Great question, Pascal.
Why wasn't he taken away from that home at that time? Why couldn't you take him? Why couldn't you take him?
We were still in the middle of the divorce.
What does that mean? What's the punching bag mean? Did you just threaten me? Did you just threaten me, Nick? Do it again. What does that mean, Nick? Elaborate. See, you might have people on YouTube thinking you're a big shot, but I know as well as you know that everybody, including yourself, that you associate with is not a big shot in this county. And that's for sure.
The divorce hasn't settled yet. This didn't happen.
They run around talking about threats. Does anybody else take what Nick has put in my chat on repeat as a threat? Because I feel like that is a threat. You just told me you're in my town. Now you're putting punchy emojis. I feel like that's a threat. Yep, definitely a threat. So who's threatening who? Why are you trying to distract from this conversation, Nick? You got a problem? That's the real him. Well, you got a problem with this conversation being played again? Don't threaten me.
Angie Best, Carol loves embroidery, Terry F, Miss Gloria, Karen Powers, Brittany J. I know, and I'll tell her that you're not talking crap about her. She probably already knows it, but TJ and I can remind her that's false. Yeah, listen, when I've had a personal conversation with Betty and I have buried the hatchet. I like Betty. I don't give a shit if it's popular or not. Quite obviously, right? I don't care what people think. I'm not above going against the grain, and I like Betty. I have nothing to say about Betty that's negative or disparaging in any way. That's not what we're trying to do here. That's not our goal. That's not our intention, and I'm not going to talk trash about Betty. The only way that I would say anything negative about Betty at all is if there was something that happened personally between she and I. And even then, I would still try to keep it classy. I'm not going to be over here shit talking her. I like Betty. I was very clear about what he said. And I'm frustrated, very frustrated, because Nick, I guess, heard it. Nick the Hat and Dog, as you guys know, Tony Mathis and Seth Rogers are now a part of Nick and Dog the Bounty Hunter's legal team. The legal reps are not just over Dog and they're not just over Dog and Nick anymore. They cover for Seth and Tony as well. Well, with that being said, Nick has made it clear that they are watching all of these, what we call quote unquote hate channels, namely, and it's not the people that are speaking out against Seth because they dislike him. It's when you outright slander and defame his name. They're not trying to take anyone's freedom of speech. They're not trying to make it where anybody can't talk about Sebastian anymore. The only thing that they're asking is that people stop slandering and making false allegations against this grieving father. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, I don't. So I'm going to go through some clips, and let me explain to you guys why I'm talking about Granny tonight, okay? I'm not just bringing her up on a whim. I have some things to say, because for the past 2 days, she has accused me of being the reason that Nick the Hat went after her the other day. You know, it's all my fault. I'm the reason that all these things are, I'm the reason that they, you know, she's got Nick and the others' attention. I'm not the reason that Nick is looking at you, Granny. It has nothing to do with me. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry, y'all. It just so happens to be that one of the people that has, you know, been my worst enemy through all of this, one person who has attacked me the most, ironically, just so happens to be one of the worst attackers of Seth Rogers. What do you want me to say? I mean, if you had to ask me, from the things I saw, she's easily top 2 in the worst, like, as far as, like, you know, making fun of him, calling him fat, accusing him of being an absentee father, accusing him of, you know, trying to get back at Katie because he wants to be with her versus, you know, find his son, taking her own personal feelings from her own past relationships and, you know, trying to put that on Seth, like claiming that he reminds her of his ex. That has nothing to do with Seth. Your ex and Seth, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. This community over here, meaning the people that support me, people that support Justin, the people that support, you know, all of us, every one of us, we all have all taken, yes, we have all taken a lot of heat and backlash over merely speaking our opinion based on things that the Proudfoots have told us with their own mouths. Not assumptions, not false accusations, things that they have told us. And no, I don't listen to her, Boston. I don't. As a matter of fact, guess how I found out about her saying all the crap she said yesterday? I got messages from my subscribers. People started emailing me like crazy midday yesterday. My emails was going off the chain. My text messages was blowing up. Everybody was telling me and sending me clips telling me how she was threatening to release my husband's personal information. So I had to go freaking see what was going on. And lo and behold, there she was. Brittany, you need to let Dog and Nick the lawyers bust this little drama. You know what? Like, I'm seriously going to talk to Nick. Like, I haven't. I'm seriously going to talk to Nick. Like, I haven't. I have nothing to do with what's going on, but maybe I will talk to Nick. Like, honestly, because this is my personal life. This is absolutely my personal life that this person is trying to. And here's the thing. She doesn't even know. Oh, my God. She doesn't even know what she's talking about, y'all. That's the crazy part. So let me go ahead and show you what she posted. I'm about to show you. Okay, I logged off because I wanted to come on and do our regular stream, right? We're going to talk about Carly. I can't even remember her last name. I'm so Carly Gray, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't even remember her last name. I'm so aggravated. She made this post. Okay, let me read this to you all. Okay, she says, "Imagine this: your loved one's life is tragically ended. You set up a memorial spot to honor their short-lived life. An angry man comes out with a weapon in his hand, demanding that you leave the memorial and take it all with you, destroying the place that you built to honor. Remember and feel close to where your loved one's last breath was taken. Does this sound like someone who cares about victims or has human decency at all? Tons to discuss tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all there." All right, you're a psycho. You're not going to do this. I'm not going to allow you to take a situation that you are so wrong about. It's laughable how wrong you are. You're so wrong about it. And you're going to sit there and twist it and try to make it like this right here. This right here proves many things. Tell y'all the story of what happened, because I refuse to allow this girl to do this to me anymore. But before I do that, hold on a second. Y'all remember Kelly J? Remember Kelly J? Remember Kelly J? I gave her an opportunity, to come back. Remember that? Kelly J and I talked, remember, guys? And I said that, we made peace and I'm all for it. Well, let's read what Kelly J had to say under that post. Because look at what people are already saying. People that don't even know anything about what happened. That's beyond cruel. So then Kelly J says, "I know exactly what this is about. Being that I had to do some searching due to someone who was always crying about being a victim of grannies, I went back a year or longer to find out who started a lifetime grudge. And in a live stream, someone told a story about a Red Bull can. Tell me I'm wrong, Granny. She actually made a joke in a stream one night and mentioned how they had to call County Highway Police about the Red Bulls that were trashing her driveway and yard. Her boyfriend went out yelling and screaming one night." Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. All right. Her boyfriend went out yelling and screaming one night and mentioned how that they had to call the County Highway Police about the Red Bulls that were trashing her driveway and yard. Her boyfriend went out yelling and screaming one night while they were outside visiting, where a young teenager passed away. Anyone started asking her what she was talking about, and she explained her way, of course. But I lost my own father in a car. Hold on a minute. This is insane. These people are so full of shit. So you're lying. You don't even know what you're talking about. Hold on a second. She explained her way, of course, but I lost my own father in a car wreck in a long country road when I was 9. It's where he slid off a 50-foot. He slided 50 feet on his back to his death and his neck broke. And I couldn't imagine the person that I bought the land to tell me I couldn't ever go by there and stand there if I felt lonely or just wanted to the very place that he took his last breath. I think she even stated something like, how many Red Bulls does someone need that's no longer here? I think that's what she said. You are a bold fucking liar. Kelly J, God will handle you. I don't got to do nothing because you, Kelly J, just lied on your freaking, oh my God, you just lied, completely lied. Lied. Y'all are witnessing, y'all are absolutely witnessing somebody just bold-faced lying. Do you think I would ever say something like that about a deceased person? Red Bulls? What the fuck are you even talking about? Do you know that I just let that girl come back in my chat? And guess what? I didn't do anything to her to make her go back over there talking about me yet again and literally slandering the fuck out of me right now. It never happened, Boston. Never happened. Kelly, since you went back and you've allegedly found that, why don't you go get it and show us? Show us where I was talking about Red Bull cans and how somebody would need so many that's no longer here. You are an absolute liar. You just proved that the truth is not in you, and God knows it, and so do I. And God, no, I don't have any reason why. I don't care. I love you, Boston, and I'm glad you believe me. But listen, right now, I don't give a shit if anybody that listens to me believes me or not, except for God in heaven. He knows the truth, and these people are really going to sit there and say that. Okay, let me share it to y'all what the truth is, and to any mod that I can fight it in that went over here and told her a screwed up story. You need Jesus too, Kelly J. There's nothing nobody could pay me $1 to go and lie on another person the way that you just lied on me. Shame on you. Shame on you. And in using deceased people to spin your narrative, shame on you. Your own a boy passed away. Put a one in chat if you remember when that boy got into a wreck in front of my house. I was on YouTube. I was actually live when it happened. I got your back, Brittany. Trust me when I speak up on something because I don't do it very often unless I know something for sure. I appreciate that. So y'all remember that, right? Okay, that was awful. It was horrible. Okay, so for anybody that may not know, there was a 20-year-old boy who he unfortunately was driving and drinking. He was coming back from a Halloween party. He was drinking and driving, and he was going like maximum speeds. And I don't know if I'm thinking he passed out, like we think he passed out. And oh God, it was awful, y'all. He basically went off the road into my ditch, and I have high ditches in front of my house. And he went into my ditch up on the embankment, which is about, I don't know, my ditches are probably about 10 feet tall. Okay. And his truck goes up to the top of my ditch and flips over. And he's going like, got to be about 80 miles per hour. Okay. Flips the truck over and it lands on its roof. Okay. The impact was so hard that it felt like a bomb. It went off at my house. Okay. It woke my father-in-law up out of his sleep. It was absolutely devastating. And he passed away on impact. I mean, he was gone. He was gone instantly. The impact was so bad. And it was devastating. And so anyway, there was and I'm talking about, this is in my yard, you guys. It's in my yard. Now you ask me, why is Granny all in my business? Ask yourself, why does she have her nose in my personal life? I want y'all to think about this. This is my personal life. This isn't YouTube. So they set up a memorial in my yard. It's in my yard. The memorial stays up for about a year. Now, the entire time, nobody said anything. Everybody was fine. Nobody had problems with the memorial being up. Okay. In my yard. It was up for about a year. And we started getting woken up. Like, there would be lights shining in my kids' windows, loud music, people outside talking. Neil is on the spectrum, and it would freak him out. He would wake up, come running in me, telling me somebody's outside his window. Craig was going outside, finding not Red Bull, and I never even fucking said this. So Kelly J, I'd like to know who you are to take some story and twist it. Like, let me just going out there getting drunk every night at that area. Okay, they were going out there in my yard in the middle of the night getting drunk, waking my kids up, shining lights in my window, night after night after night. I'd go outside constantly, ask him, hey, do you mind? My kids are asleep. I understand that this is your memorial. I struggled with this, y'all. I struggled with this hard because it is someone's memorial. Okay. I would never, I always have respect for that. But I guess because the guy was young, he had like friends and stuff like that. And we asked them multiple times over and over and over, hey, if you come, do you mind? Can you do it during the day? And if you come, could you not, like, just, you're freaking my kids out. We're finding thing, if you want to come and, pay your respects, put a cross up, have some flowers. Hell, we never said anything in my yard, and we never said anything until it started affecting my kids. Do y'all want people the same time? It's like I told the officer, when at this time I had to reach out and call law enforcement because I was being threatened online too. So not only did we have people coming up, drinking in my yard, waking my son up, and y'all got to know, Neil, when somebody comes in my house unannounced, it freaks him out. Everybody in my family knows that you have to call before you come multiple times. Okay, can y'all be respectful? Do you mind if you come back during the day? Can you? Is there any way you can move it down further? It's bothering my son. We're finding alcohol outside of our house constantly. Loud music at 12 o'clock at night. Fuck you, Granny. Fuck you for coming at me and making this story something that it's not. So we asked them to move it. And if that makes me evil, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. What would you do? I want to know, what would you all do? Would you allow people coming to your house at 12 o'clock, looking out your window at 1 o'clock at night and seeing lights out there and people just sitting out there in front? And I understand, look, but a whole fucking year, you guys, to sit there and say that I don't care about victims and their families because we asked somebody to move a memorial because shit was getting too hairy, then I'm sorry. So be it. That doesn't make me a bad person, and I don't appreciate you making that shit up and adding to it and making it way more than what it was. She will get whatever God and the universe thinks she deserves. Well, she shouldn't come out here and make it and twist the story and make it what it's not, making it far worse than what it was. And he didn't point his weapon at nobody. But I got news for you. I live in the South, and we do have protection, and we do protect ourselves, but he never waved his weapon at anybody. Shit right here makes you not even want to have friends. Like, no offense to my friends, I love y'all, don't get me wrong, but when things like this happens, it makes me not want to even have friends, because you talk to people and you confide in them about things because you trust them and you love them, and then when they get mad or turn against you, they take stories that you confided in them with and they go and twist them and make them way worse, or either they tell her, regardless if they twisted it or not, they told her and she twisted it. How interesting. Happy birthday. Hold on, I'll get the emojis, but I need to know, what am I looking for on CJ's? Go towards the end. Okay. About how far? Okay, let me see. Nick? I could just go to Nick.
These individuals very well need to. I'm giving you the flare. Cautious with what you're saying. Now, those people that are doing shows over there, are they being cautious with what they're saying? No, it's a lot of negative things being said with no basis or information or factual information to even speak on anything that's anything remotely close to what they are talking about.
Is this what you wanted me to
It's pretty simple.
It is.
Who's on the panel?
Accept it, and you're going to have to argue why you shouldn't get shut down.
Okay, hold on. No.
They fired 2 flares on your ass.
All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to I don't know if, listen. No, it's not that. We don't need that kind of rhetoric. We're not shutting anybody down. That's not okay. I get what he's saying, but don't do that. That's not helping what Seth is and Tony and Nick and all are trying to do. Nobody's getting shut down. That's not what they want to do at all. I would not. I'm telling y'all, I would not back anything that involves shutting people down. I'm against that shit. I don't. No. Come on, TJ. You can't say that. That ain't that kind of rhetoric is going to make things worse. I wish he wouldn't do that.
Nobody's firing a third one. If you sit there and fuck around with 2 chances, you're lucky you got 2.
You're going to find out.
You're lucky you got 1, but you're really lucky if you got 2. And if you get 2 of them and you can't wake up and act the way that you're supposed to be acting, if you're really doing what you're supposed to be doing as you're claiming, then guess what? You will do it over and over and over and over and over again. And that's when people have to learn the hard way. How many times do you fall off a bike and skin your knee before you learn how to fucking ride it without falling over?
I'm just going to go to Nick. So. Listen. I talked to Nick, okay? I talked to Nick today. I talked to Tony today. And
I'm seriously going to talk to Nick. Like, I haven't.
telling y'all that's not the goal. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're going for. All they want to do is make these people stop dragging Seth and putting all these allegations out here that's inciting a mob. It's not just the fact that these people are saying the things they're saying, but they're putting these false accusations out into the drama sphere. And then you have all these people that watch them, the 1,200 in chat at a time, taking these allegations and running chat to chat. And I mean, look at the mess it's created. But I cannot preface this any more than I have already. Y'all, I can't stress it enough. They are not trying to take anybody down. That's not what they want to do. And I can't understand why people are making such a big fuss about this either. Like, it's like you're asking somebody, please stop throwing tomatoes at me. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, I'm going to keep throwing tomatoes at you and I'm going to fight you to do it.
But yet when they get tomatoes thrown at them, it's hella worse.
Yeah, it's the end of the world. Exactly. It's crazy.
You dish out what you get.
They're starting to involve your family now. They have been threatened with a C&D and they are not stopping. No one wants to do that, but how do we get them? Right, yeah, constantly. Like, that's another thing. Going after people's family. Craig should not be brought into this. What does Craig do? Who does he bother on this platform? My children should not be brought into this. And then let's go to Nick, because I mean, listen, I like CJ and stuff like that, but I don't like that. Like, I don't think that rhetoric's going to help us at all. Not after talking to Nick and Tony and stuff, and knowing like what they said to me. This is truly one of the most psychotic things that I have witnessed in a while. To not be worried about me so much. You sure are in my personal life, Granny's watching. This is for Granny's watching. You look, I have had it. You know nothing about my personal life. You don't know me at all, contrary to what you may think. You don't know me. You don't know my husband. You don't know my children. You don't know anything about my life at all. You've never met me a day in my life. You've never been to my house. You've never spent time around my family. You know nothing. And it's so incredibly just gobsmacked. It just gobsmacks my brain. Like, it's incredibly, I don't even have the words. Like, I can't even think of the words to describe how arrogant this person is and how just, I can't even fathom how this person thinks that they know so much when they are so wrong. Let me just do this.
It's good to see all of you in here. Sorry, I was looking at messages. It's so funny because, well, we'll get into a few things, but ironically, my dang old post didn't say anybody's name, but somebody sure as hell took that very personally. And then I saw people calling that a dox, and I'm like, what? How would you feel post with no names as a dox? Wow, that's news to me. So kind of at the point where if like you support doxing, if you cheer it on, if you excuse it, well then surely you're okay when it comes to you. Well, rest assured, I'm not a doxer. Despite what these people want to cry and complain and say and do, I'm not a doxer. I don't have to dox, but I will certainly show the truth about you and those around you is what I will do. And we'll be getting all into it. Good morning, Bug, Just Robin, Emily, Stassi, Pasha, Elise, Carrie Moody. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Listen, it's not a post I made, CJ. I'm not dox me all day and night. I don't care. We are called the melon felons, the MFers, for a reason. I've never hidden the fact that I'm a felon. I've never hidden the fact that I'm in recovery. None of that has ever been hidden. So that part I'm not so worried about. It is the threats that came with it. It is the reason for the dox that I have a problem with. But as far as like, claiming I'm crying about being, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm surprised it took this long, if I'm being honest. What I do find ironic, though, is that somebody like Betty, who admittedly told the police she was addicted to cocaine and ecstasy, has the audacity. So there's a few things we're going to get into. And I think we're going to jump right into it. The people I saw cheering on Betty's filth the other day are the people that I'll be responding to. Congratulations, Kelly. That's amazing. They're going to show more and more because she's feeling really emboldened. I don't know if anybody else picked up on it because not many people watch, including myself. But she started off at the beginning of the stream saying she's never spoken to Nick. And by the end of this stream, she was saying how she spoke to Nick and Tony that day. Anybody else catch that? Put a 1 in the chat. She did this another time. She wrote a whole post about how she doesn't talk to Seth. And in the middle, did admit that she talks to Seth. It's like, you just, woo, right over it. So she said she's never spoken to Nick. And then by the end, towards the end, it was she spoke to Nick that day. So I was like, which one is it? Justin also had a few questions. And I have a few answers for you, Justin. I have a few answers for you. And then as far as Betty's little skinny friend that's making a post on Facebook where Betty threatens to come to my house with 4 ROs against you, I don't think that's smart. But anyway, her friend got really bent out of shape. Here's the thing. If you don't want this shit done to you, don't support it being done to others. Because the fact of the matter is not only is Betty herself a criminal, but so are those she associates with. Okay? They are too. So that's what I find to be quite ironic is Betty's always out here trying to shame people and make them feel some type of way for their past when Betty's past is worse than mine. Nick's current situation is worse than mine. The people Betty is surrounded by, including her best friend who portrayed her when she turned her back, also has a criminal record. And you forgot there, lady. When you threaten legal action, if I was to put out your record, that's what you and your friends are doing right now, right? So you're admitting that's illegal? That's interesting. But you forget that people already put it out there, which BJ says if it was already put out there, that is not doxing. So let's keep that in mind throughout the stream as well, okay? But you already admitted, Michelle, that you have a record. And why would you be so threatened? I never said your name. Why would you be so threatened by me saying that if it weren't true? You people give yourselves away. Just like making that post led to her crying for 30 minutes about being a victim. No, the only victim is the family whose lives, their loved one's life was lost that night. And instead of coming out with some human decency and saying, hey, can you turn down your headlights or, can you refrain from leaving a mess behind when you leave here, which I don't believe happens. Your badass shut-in of a boyfriend goes out wielding a gun at them, right? Because that's the truth of what happens. So I don't know what she forgets, but she told this story about a year ago and it was a stark difference. Yeah, Gold's a felon. So yeah, I have no problem with my record being out there again. I've never hidden it. I am in recovery. I did some shitty shit and I pay for it every day. I also make up for it every day. What I have a problem with is bringing my family in it who's not on YouTube. That's what I have a problem with. But since all of you that supported it don't have a problem with that, you surely won't have a problem with what I show today, okay? And again, it won't be doxing, but it will be showing you all some inside information to who these people are. That's all. Or Billy Ray know anything about Miley doing this, Nick? Because again, they're not the only people that have connections. That's for sure. But back to what I was talking about. So Brittany, for whatever reason, took my community post to be very personal. And I believe it was even stated up here. I think, Heather, if I'm correct, you were part of Brittany. I was actually friendly with Brittany at the time that this accident took place because I remember it. So the fact is, I know he was threatening them with a pew and called charges for pulling down the memorial. Now, Brittany claims that it was okay, the memorial, you know, that they were out there drinking and the bright lights were going through the windows and keeping the kids up and all those things and, you know, whatever may be it. So let me just pull this up really quick. Not only did you go out there wielding a gun, threatening these people, but you also took down the memorial. You trashed the memorial of a 20-year-old whose life was taken too soon. That's absolutely horrific. So I'm going to show you all this memorial spot. But hold on, because I forgot to exit out the address. So hold on. This is the memorial that was such a burden on this family. This is the memorial. This is the memorial for James Jacob Butler III, who was 20 years old when on Sunday, October 30th, he tragically lost his life by going off-road into this ditch. Giselle, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Does this look like it's something that would be such a bother to you on a property?
No. God
And
bless
then
you. So.
you have her saying that the lights were keeping their kids up because the driveway, right? I mean, put a 1 in the chat. Is that the excuse that was given? I can't even bear to listen to her damn voice. But I do know, Brittany, you have no problem with doxing. And lucky for you, I'm not going to dox. But I am going to tell the truth about who and what your partner is and how little you care for victims. Because the lights were keeping your kids up at night. And then your weird mod came over saying something about alcohol and drugs. So there would be a police report about these people drinking and drugging and then getting in their cars driving, right? But she has several different ones, Heather. I will agree with that. So this memorial spot, let me make sure you can't see. Okay. Because unlike you, Brittany, I'm not going to dox you, and I would never celebrate somebody doxing your family, but I am going to show what a liar you are. This memorial spot is right there. Look at the distance. This memorial spot, that's the driveway. Memorial spot, driveway.
Oh, wow.
It's not even, like, it's not right here in front of it. It's not up here past their fence. It's on the side.
Yep.
And it's far enough away from the driveway, in my opinion.
Wow, you know what? My husband's family has a similar little memorial for his brother who died less than a mile from their house. And you know what? Whoever kicked that memorial and acted like that should be glad that the people that were obviously, according to them, drinking and doing drugs had the mentality not to just absolutely stomp a mud hole through them, because that's exactly what my husband's family would have done. There would have been nothing left but a greasy spot in the middle of the road if they would have trashed my deceased brother-in-law's memorial like that. There's some people out here that don't tolerate that kind of stupidity and will gladly put you in the hospital for it.
Well, I would like to know, would they go to a cemetery and do that to somebody's grave? Because it's the same thing to the victims, to his family. It is the same thing as you walking in the cemetery and doing that to his grave. How dare anybody? And if it was your child, I'll guarantee you, these same people that did that would not tolerate it for their own.
Well, and I don't understand the constantly blaming things on your own children. There are many ways, like I said, that could be resolved without literally breaking down a memorial for a 20-year-old that lost their life. There are many ways you can go about respectfully asking for changes to be made that does not inquire disrespect in the deceased.
Yep.
And in my opinion, it was a strong disrespect to the deceased, and I don't think there's any justification for it. And I don't think there's any justification for going out there with, you know, toting a weapon in hand, threatening. What we're supposed to believe now is young adults, right, that are supposedly out there drinking and recklessly leaving behind trash. Well, and I was just wondering, that is that even considered their property at that point? It's hard. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell from just a photo. But nonetheless, this is a memorial spot, a tiny little memorial spot for this young adult whose life was tragically taken too soon. He was a junior fireman, so I find it insulting that you're thinking all his friends and family that come by to honor him are alcoholics and drug addicts. Okay.
But why wouldn't you call the police?
Right. Why wouldn't you call the police? If there's people outside your property that are drinking and drugging, why aren't you calling the police? Right here, he was proud to be a junior fireman, a volunteer fireman. He was affectionately known, enjoyed riding horses, rodeos, four-wheeling, hunting, and fishing. He loved his truck, hanging out with his friends and his family, and his dog, Gage. This is the young man.
That's sickening.
That's memorial. Yeah.
Yeah,
after she heard the bang and knew somebody was just passed, she still continued her live stream.
No, well.
So I'm tired of this, like, this fallacy that she's all about victims and, you know, she has empathy and compassion and all these things. You gave so little respect to this young man whose life was taken way too soon from this world, so little respect to his family, that you didn't just ask that they remove the memorial. No, you went out and threatened them and then destroyed it.
Oh my God.
Whatever happened to compassion and empathy? Whatever happened to respect for the dead? Oh my goodness.
Wow. And
I wasn't sure if it was, but yeah, he did get a $300 larceny charge. And again, I'm still not doxing. Let's make that very clear. This isn't doxing. And yeah, he didn't just take it down. He downright trashed it. He trashed it. While wielding, I'm going to say wielding for dramatics because I can just imagine how white. I don't really know. But confronting what I assume to be, if we're to believe they're out there drinking, would be young adults with a weapon. You couldn't just go out there and simply, excuse me, you guys keep leaving trash behind the lights. You're coming at an inconvenience hour. Can perhaps we have a little respect and not come at this time, maybe this time, and it happened during a live, and she continued her live going. A life was lost right outside of her property, and she still continued the live stream.
It's rules for thee and not for me. Just like, people can actually, there's the last couple of days, there have been people talking about, I don't know if you guys saw where Savage showed, I think Savage showed a picture of a car in a random driveway. She made sure to block out, there was nothing else. All you could see was a car. And I've heard people say, oh, why are we looking up other people's houses on Google? I thought we don't do that. Who rocks with somebody who's looking up people's houses on Google? My house was just shown, well, not my house, but my whole yard was just shown on a Google Earth on a live stream 5 days ago. My entire yard was shown on Google Earth on a damn live stream. And then the boy who died in my yard, the obituary was shared. So what do you think? How do you basically, you just doxed me. You gave everybody the keys to dox, to find where my house is at. Guess what? The streets were silent. Wasn't a thing said. You know why? Because when it comes to me, there are different rules. People can go as low as they want. They can speak on my kids. They can look my house up on Google Earth and show it to all of the YouTube streets. They can share videos of my kids or try to get access of my kids. They can.
My house. You did dox me, Granny. Showing my house, showing my yard in my street, and lying on Craig constantly. And I'm gonna ask this now. I'm asking for. I want all the pictures. I want that. I'm asking you to take all of the images of me, all of the images of my yard. I want all of them off of your channel. And any of you.
This is cyberbullying.
It's one thing to talk shit. If you want to talk shit about me, go ahead. That's life. There's nothing I can do about that. I can handle that. I don't want anybody to think that I forgot about Betty. Betty, I'll just say, I'm aware of everything that happened with Betty, but we've got a plan. And I got the screenshots, but Yvette, make sure you get those screenshots so we can send that with the rest of the stuff. None of us are legally or we're not aligned with At Night Media or Nick in any way more than a friendship. There's no transactions, nothing.
And I think that should be put to bed as well, because after you've stated this, that's it. There is no payroll either.
No,
that's ridiculous.
If nothing at all, absolutely none of us. Look, we're a group of creators who have supported Tony and Seth and what they're doing. What their goal is, and there's that. Right? I mean, that's what it is. I mean. Now, to just for the sake of transparency, I do want to share with y'all that I did, and this is also another one that they can take in, if whether they want to believe it or not, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is what you guys know and what the courts know and think. But I did not have any control over who and what Nick and his team decided to go against. Even if I wasn't a part of this at all, they were still going to file these I don't want to say charges. What would you call it? These complaints against Granny and Barbecue.
This injunction, a federal injunction, and this injunction it's a federal injunction, and you've got Lesniak on there. You have attorney Bruce Castor, who is the former I can't even think right now, Secretary of State of Pennsylvania. He was also a Trump. I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. He's an American lawyer and retired Republican politician from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. He was appointed as the Solicitor General in Pennsylvania in 2016. Also, the first Deputy Attorney General in that following July. Castor became an acting Attorney General less than a month later. He led the defense of the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump, along with American lawyer David Strogan. I think that's how you pronounce it. I mean, they are taking this case, and I think that speaks a lot in itself.
Yep,
that speaks a lot in itself. I mean, this is an attorney who led for Donald Trump, President of the United States. Okay, and I mean, I don't know how to make it any more clear.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, these people, it's best to just like everybody needs to chill out. That's the thing. Just chill out. Everyone, put your egos aside and just chill out.
There I go again. Sorry. Okay, Scott Bulldog Mama.
Said,
yeah, says you had to be a part of something to be listed as a plaintiff in these court proceedings. What do you mean? Like, are you saying that I had to be like a partner or something to be a part of this? No. So, how do I even say this?
I don't think you do anything that,
No, but I'm absolutely not a part of anything other than one of the people that they were filing the injunction against just so happened to be a person that I have had a ton of issues with. And I was asked if I would want to be a part of this because, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what else going on. It's been awful. It has been awful. For the last, and these are reasons, I'm going to list reasons why I decided to do this. I said and tried to look into ways to handle this on my own, even prior to all of this. Okay.
Yeah.
I have been called an animal abuser. I have been accused of streaming while I was streaming. She said that I was, quote, so wrapped up or so obsessed with YouTube that I stepped on one of my cats and killed them. Well, there went my monetization. I meant to say unalived them. And continued to stream, even though my animal was unalived. She has used a video of me shooing a cat with my foot, never making impact with it, and accused me of kicking my animal. I have been called homophobic, transphobic, racist. She has spread that rumor to quite a few people that I'm racist. I have been accused of not feeding my children, locking my autistic son in a room, or I don't know if she was saying in a room or out of a room. Either way it goes, locking my child away so that I can stream. And then all of that's bad, right? But even with that, I tried to rise above. And I'm going to be honest with you, my turning point when I said things have got to stop and I have got to do something about this was the day that she went live and she showed my property on her live stream. Okay. Not only did she show my property, but she showed the street name on the Google. She used Google Earth to show my property. And then she shared a obituary of a young man who passed away on my property, which anybody who would want to find my house at that point, she basically laid it out for you. And that was I said, you know what? This is only going to get worse.
And what I thought was interesting is, you say it's that, but then, you're working your butt off the last couple of weeks and then you're tired, right? You're tired. And then all of that happened and it's just like, wow. And then you get blamed for something, with falling asleep or something like that, saying you were on something. But
well, for anybody that's telling me not to speak, I've already got permission to say all of this, you guys.
Picture of my kids. And who gave you that picture?
I don't have a picture of your kids. You've had your kids.
Oh, stop. You lied. You said either you lied or you got it.
Picture, didn't you?
Yeah,
I've never given you a picture of my kids. Show me where I've given you a picture of my kids.
You haven't, which is why I'm asking you why you told people that you gave me a picture I'm now using against you. That's not true.
I never fucking said that. Show me where I said that. I've never said that.
Where'd that come from? Who said? Where would that come from?
Granny said on her panel that she's got a picture of my kids and she starts talking about my kids in the most fucked up, disparaging way, saying that they look like they got dark circles and bags under their eyes, that they got dirty clothes on the first day of school, that they were late, that it was pitiful, like dog whistles like a mofo. I just want to ask a question. Hate me all you want. Hate me. I don't give a fuck. I want to say this too. I don't think everybody should like me. Wait a minute. That's another thing. You need to stop lying and saying that I said shit about your kids. I don't speak on your kids.
You came up my panels. The first thing you brought up was my daughter.
Oh, about the fucking, did you buy her vapes? And I even apologize for that. Come the fuck on, Granny.
For what I said about the photo. I've apologized about that too.
No, you don't stop. You don't stop, Granny.
Send me a picture of the kids that I would have told them don't be fucking sending me no goddamn pictures of her kids.
I would have too. Don't give me. I would be. I don't fuck with people's kids. I would be the same way. I damn sure wouldn't hold it and then go live. I've never spoke disparagingly on your kids. Why can't you give me the same grace?
You have, Brittany. I don't have a picture of your kids, and I am sorry for what I said that day. I was very reactive to what you were showing. I felt like you came up on purpose to derail, to have a reason to go do what you did that night. I apologized several times. I'm apologizing directly to you. I was very.
Granny, I came up on your panel.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I really do appreciate you saying that. I really do. Thank you. Thank you.
On my heart, it was fucked up. I should have never said it. I was so bedazzled and fucking angry at what was going on that I reacted in a very poor way.
Well, I mean, I can agree. When somebody talks about your kids and you're fucking, first of all, your kids or your family, that shit right there make a motherfucker snap.
It cuts deep. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, if you don't like me, that's okay. But those are my babies. I feel like we let this animosity get to us so bad to the point where we don't care how much pain we put on another person. And I'm speaking for me too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like who's
I don't hate nobody
right now, Brittany? You know what I mean? Like, why are all these traitors?
I don't agree with that.
Right, that's the shit that's happening, and then I finally it all comes at once, and I explode, and I don't handle it the best way. I admit that. I'm not making excuses for what I said. It's just there's only so much one person can take, and you gotta admit, Brittany, you guys been giving it to me very good, back to back. Like I'm fucking human too, like you said, like me or not. There's some breaking points, conversations about my daughter, conversations about my father. It's not none of it's necessary, and we're all guilty of doing it.
RICO law. RICO law.
I think that this is going to go so much further than we know, you guys, because like I said, don't look to me for information or Justin. Like the only thing that I really know is about my filing. You know what I mean? I'm not privy to anything else. So this stuff that we're reading in this filing is news to me too. So when I see them speaking about enterprises and things going on behind the scenes, it really makes me wonder. I'm like, damn, because I'm just an average person that's got a channel that comes on here to hang with y'all at night and talk about true crime. But it really looks like some of this stuff is going to open the doors to a lot of things that none of us knew were going on.
Not to mention, this is the second. Is it the second cease and desist that Seth has put out before?
Yes.
And
Yep.
and this is what happens after a cease and desist, right? The cease and desist is saying, okay, tone it down or knock it off, right?
This is huge, y'all.
That's big. If they don't press her on it, I'm just saying that's pretty big.
I didn't even realize how big this was, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, it didn't even dawn on me that one of the attorneys that joined the team is actually, what was he, the former attorney general?
The former attorney general. He was lead in President Trump impeachment trial.
It's forever.
That's what I'm saying. It's forever online. Like, I wouldn't dare be screaming at the top of my lungs about someone. Like, your grandkids is going to see this one day.
Oh, how embarrassing.
And then, I just don't, people.
I feel like we've reached that point in this community where you can just, you can show my house on a panel, on a channel, on a live stream. You can show my property and nobody says anything. Nobody just stops and thinks for a minute. Well, how is that going? She has little kids. What if, some weirdo's watching this video and they decide to go to her house? Then what? They don't, it's like nobody even thinks about that. Or, calling him a predator and saying he did these horrible things. Well, he works at a jail. What do they do to people that do things like that?
I'm reading this right now, and I'm reading the thing in Seth, and it says, defendant dismisses Rogers' claims of trauma, sarcastically suggesting, quote, get a therapist because it is years later, sir. You're still not healed, end quote. Talking, and this is, people make it to where it's like, they make it sound like Seth isn't over a relationship.
Yep.
He just wants to speak to the mother of his missing child. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, but they got to turn that into
and
some
to
love.
talk about nothing more than their missing child.
Yep.
Nothing more.
That's it. Make it make sense. But I'm going to say it again for those of you that may have not been here. Just because I am included in this filing does not mean that I know everything within it, okay? I actually know very little. I only know pretty much my part, okay? So a lot of this stuff is new for me. I'm learning it right along with you guys. And I think the same for Justin and many of us. Like, just because we speak to people doesn't mean that we necessarily are in the know of everything. So I'm seeing some things that I've got questions about. I know you do too, Justin, because the same person that texted me today texted you. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck is this about. Like, in the filing,
I don't know what that means.
In the filing, there's a part. It's not even in the exhibit. There's something in the exhibit I got a question about, but there's also something in. Should I even bring this up yet? Did y'all see where War Eagle posted Illuminati's document regarding?
I did.
To it. You know how the Bible says, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do," right? Well, it's kind of a similar thing. These people have no idea what they're supporting, and that's all you got to say. They have no idea what they're supporting, and it breaks my heart. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You have no idea what you're rallying for, and I don't understand why or how, for that matter. Because we are cool like that. That any of them would have said no to a pro bono lawyer. I don't believe it, especially. And I got to be careful. I can't say much about litigation at all. Okay. But I think it's okay for me to say, especially, right, when their children are being brought into this, right? Anybody. Oh yeah. I would come over there because you would like to ask me the question why I'm doing litigation. Basically, why am I doing it on the path that I'm doing it on? And basically, why am I taking part in this filing and not doing it on my own volition? Well, do you have several $1,000s to hire an attorney to file litigation? It's an opportunity, pro bono, that was offered to me. I'm not going to allow people to say what I can and cannot talk about. I'm not going to allow anyone to police my community and police my channel and tell us that we are not allowed to discuss Sebastian's case, or tell us that we're not allowed to discuss the specifics of the case, or tell us that we're not allowed to use hashtags for certain things. That's why my title is I won't take part. If y'all want to police each other, and then it seems like, in my opinion, that a lot of people go along with this so they can fit in. And all that's going to end up happening is it's going to implode. It's going to implode. You're going to police each other to the point where nobody's going to be able to talk about true crime at all, because every time somebody opens their mouth, you find something wrong with it. I'm not doing it. If it means that I stand by myself and I have no friends, I'm not doing it. Who are you to say that I'm not allowed to talk about what Chris and Katie Proudfoot have said out of their own mouths? Who are you to say that I'm not allowed to discuss Sebastian multiple days at a time? Who made anyone the police or the hall monitor of YouTube? What happened to go along to get along? There are millions of channels on YouTube. Millions. If you don't like, there's something for everybody.
right? So if you don't like my method of true crime, then you are welcome to watch somebody else's. But what I've seen happen in this case of Sebastian Rogers is there's an uptick in these channels, and people have given them credibility. Why? I don't know, but people have given them so much credibility that I'm seeing subscribers fall into this. Subscribers that love true crime, that have always actively taken a part. I'm seeing creators who love true crime, who have actively taken a part in having these conversations. All of a sudden, now you can't even talk about an open case. They're like, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody. Y'all know that good old saying, opinions are like, you know what, right? They're like butts. Everybody's got one, right? We are entitled to our opinions, every one of us. And if we're not allowed to come on here and talk about cases and discuss the details of the cases, how are we going to bring awareness for those cases? I have to believe that there is a lot of good that comes from the true crime community. Yes, is there bad? Absolutely. But I have to believe that there's good. I believe wholeheartedly that, whether it be TikTok, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter, the Facebook groups, all of that stuff, that gets Sebastian's name out there. That gets Summer Wells' name out there. That gets Gannon Stouck's name out there. That gets Michael Monkey Vaughn's name out there. Their names and faces have been seen by thousands more people than they ever would have been just by the mainstream media news alone.